Okay, so let's start things off here with Desert Fox, and the Axis automatically has the first turn. Shit, I forgot to look up any additional first turn rules. So gung-ho to get started this morning. This is a game, whether you're playing the race for Tobruk scenario or not, that you want to race for Tobruk. You want to take as far along this road as you can get, but you don't want to take unnecessary risks because your troops have a certain level. You're not going to get a lot of reinforcements here. If you look at this stack, there's a lot of Italian troops there, not a lot more German. This little force here has to take you quite a bit of the ways. It's not going to get you Tobruk, but it has to get you most of this. And you want to go as fast and as far as you can safely. I'm going to look for those rules, and I'll be back in a moment with some counting. I found it. 4 points is added to the combat strength of Axis units executing supply overrun. And supply overrun expends 1 extra movement point in addition to the cost to enter the supply hex. Okay. So it's that +4 on the supply overrun that's the big bonus on this point. It means you only need 2 strength points to capture a dump automatically. Well, not automatically. To have a chance of capturing a dump without having to roll against your strength. And 1 strength point has a pretty good chance too. Alright, let me find me a couple of Avalon Hill dice. Which are what I must play SPI games with for some reason. And start looking at what we can do here. So, let's see if the sequence of play is different on the first turn too. Oh, there, the initial surprise turn. Automatically first player. Phases 6, 7, 8 are deleted from the Commonwealth turn. That's motorized. The whole motorized section is deleted from the Commonwealth turn on the first turn. No supply units as reinforcements, no biggie there. The Commonwealth cannot construct fortifications. That's a biggie. I've violated that sometimes, which can make Tobruk impossible to take. 4 is added to the combat strength of the Axis for supply overrun, and the Commonwealth may not attempt to destroy his own supply units. Okay. But I do get 2 movement phases with the Germans. And what I want to do is, if possible, I want to overrun these units through regular overrun. That's going to mean 10 strength points. I don't have to worry about supply factors when I'm doing overrun combat, which is kind of cool. So I'd need 40 to do this. I have 17, 18, 19. That's not 40. 6, 11, 12, 19. I do not have 40 strength points. Period. So I cannot overrun this space. And that's going to start causing some trouble because it means I can't speed through there on the first movement. And I'm probably going to get blocked up here. There's another 4 strength points here at Benghazi. A couple of these infantry units. I'd be using tweezers, but I can't use them on camera very well. Because I hold the camera in my right hand because the camera is designed for a right-handed person. Okay. So I guess what I want to do is I want to wipe this out as much as I can. And let's look at the movement point cost for this. Rough terrain here costs 4 for motorized, 2 for non-motorized. I got to take both of them out. If we cut their supply, that reduces what we have to face. So this will be 1. It's only 1 stacking point, but I can't infiltrate it because it's motorized stuff. If it was non-motorized, I could infiltrate. 1, 2, 6, 10, 14, 18. Oh, clears might be 2 for motorized. Yeah, clear is 2 movement points for everybody. Yeah, I thought so. Okay. 2, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. For 24, I can get to here, but that allows an out still. So let's see if we've got some. Yeah, we've got this 28 here. So 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 22, 26, 28. So we're gonna, everybody's in supply right now. We're gonna drop this piece back there. Now, unfortunately, this piece doesn't have a zone of control either. We're not gonna get to cut off. We can cut their, no, we can't cut their supply line even. Can we? 1, 2. Supply is motorized movement points. 1, 2, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12. Back to the dump. He's in supply. I thought you could cut the supply with this. Got something faster here like the recam. 2, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 22, 24, 25. 2, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 22, 26. I'm not going to get any better than that, I don't think. Because this doesn't have a zone. It doesn't work. Okay. And I'm going to try to get the best odds I can on both these units. And I'll be back in a little while. I mean, this was not a fun thing to watch. Okay, after much thinking and grabbing calculators, but not actually using them, although I was going to add up all the strength points and see what I can get. But I think this is the best I can do. I've got 11, 12 strength points against 3. That gives me a 4 to 1. 2, 4, 6, 10, 14. I can put one here. I'm going to throw an artillery in here to hit this piece. And I put all my trucks here to supply these guys. Now, I actually only needed 1 truck for all of this. So I'm going to keep a truck back here. Move it as far ahead as it can because they move kind of slowly, as do the artillery. Alright, so I have a good odds against this, and I've got an artillery shift. It's in supply because 4, 8, no, that's not going to be in supply. Well, I can't cut them anyway. I can't cut their supplies anyway. Right. Yeah. So the problem here was I only it's only 6 movement points that you can supply. So you need a truck right up at the front when you're going through rough terrain. So anyway, moving to here costs only 4 movement points. So obviously I'm in supply there. And 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 8.5 goes back to my main supply source under there. And yeah, there's a destroyed units box on there. There's also a destroyed units box over on this map that I can use though. All right, so that sets these guys up. I've got 3 supply units. None of them is going to be carrying more than 1 stacking point of supply. So 3 is where you have to expend things, 3 points of supply per unit. If I had only set 1 supply unit there, I'd still be okay because I've got 2 units there, but I should be okay with this setup. Yeah, no reason to get these guys off the road though. It'll slow them down. All right, and over here, I have 9, 17, 24 strength points to 4. The dump has a parenthesized strength point. What that means is it's got 1 defensive strength point if nothing else is there. All parenthesized units add up together to 1. And 1 is kind of your minimum. Okay, so 17 doesn't sound good. I thought I had another... Where'd my other armor go? My recon unit go? Uh-oh, I lost a unit. I swear I had one. There it is. Okay, we'll throw him in too. So that makes 19, 26. Well, it does make a difference to 4. So this is going to be a 6-to-1 attack, and I'm going to throw an artillery in there too, just in case. I have an air unit. I may need that next battle, so I'll hold on it. I guess. Well, I'd rather not leave anything here, so I'm going to throw an air point into there. Now, what I have to do is I have to write down these air points somewhere. And I'll keep track of them on a handy dandy piece of paper. The reason is, as I expend them off the track, then I don't know how many I have for the turn. So I'm going to throw that air unit into this battle over here. And here I had 11, 12 to 3 is 4-to-1 with an artillery and an air, which is going to give me 2 shifts in my favor. Ooh. He may have a combined arms problem because he doesn't have infantry with him. I don't remember. I think it counts on defense. In which case, I won't throw that air point there. Yep. Defending as well. Okay. Oh, overrunning wouldn't be counted. Okay. So it wouldn't help my chances of overrunning that unit if I could do that. So 7. I may use this artillery over on the other piece too. I don't know. 7, 11, 12 to 1.5. Now you drop fractions, I believe, which puts it to 12-to-1. So I'm going to commit the artillery there, and I'm not going to commit the area. Okay. 12-to-1 in the clear gets me on the top chart in the game, and I'm just going to roll a die, and I add that to the chart number. So my base number here is going to be 11 plus a die roll. And I get a 3. That puts me on 14. Okay, well, I have to remember that 14 and come over here. And the morale of these Brits is 2. 14 at 2 is a disrupted, 3 retreat, and a depleted. I'm going to retreat into these hills here. Get this. I'm allowed to advance. Uh-oh. Now these guys are surrounded. And this thing has no zone of control. So it's kind of at risk. Now, for combat supply this turn, the Brits were going to be tracing from both of these. But now they can't. These guys are out of supply, so they are halved, and they have a strength of 4. And that's, I was throwing this in, which was over 24 with everything in it. So that's 6-to-1. I'm just going to throw the 2 artillery, and I'm not throwing the air in again. 6-to-1 in the clear. It's more than 6 to 1 because these guys are out of supply. They're halved. It's now 12 to 1 in the clear, so I'm on that 11 table again. I have my artillery in place this time, so I go up to the 13 table, and I'm pretty much guaranteed good results given that I've got them surrounded. That puts me on 16. We get an A. I forgot to mention this. That means it's prior to shifts. Sorry. So before the artillery shifts, I would have been down on the 14 table. But had I gotten a natural roll without shifts that got me on the 16 table, the A would indicate if I committed an air point, if either side committed an air point, they would lose one permanently. And that's how you lose air points through the game. I haven't explained that. Anyway, we're going to end up on the 16 table. The morale here is a 2, which is a D6D, but the problem is I can't retreat. And a failure to retreat, I know it's going to destroy me, but yes, they block retreat paths, 11.62, thanks. I'm not sure if they, if I can take a penalty to do so. Nope, simply can't do it. Okay, so this is going to be a destroyed unit. Now, the important factor about being destroyed is whether or not I go in the refit box at this point. Whenever a unit is eliminated for any reason, it goes in the refit box. If it's a motorized unit, out of combat supply, non-motorized or just destroyed forever, or cannot trace a line of communication, both are the case. On a 1, 2, or 3, it goes in the refit box. Otherwise, it's permanently destroyed. And on a, I don't know what I wanted to say. Okay, so they make it into the refit box, which means this British unit has essentially escaped and can now be rebuilt. It doesn't have any upgrades due to armor. It's a mechanized unit, so it wouldn't. Okay, now there's the supply hex. I'm advancing into that hex, and I make a check on, well, not the supply overrun rules, but the regular supply rules. And they work the same way, which is it's the same thing, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So on a 1, 2, 3, I capture the supply unit. And there's some things I didn't mention there. So this dump has been captured. An Axis dump is put in its place, but I have to put a marker to indicate that I captured it this turn. That indicates I can't really do anything. I can't convert it or anything this turn. It's going to sit in that status until the end of the turn. I can't use it for supply, I don't believe. Trying to see. I don't want to look it up. All right. The artillery is not allowed to advance, and neither are the trucks, but everything else can into this hex. That gets us partway through the turn. That gets us through the initial movement phase. Now the enemy gets a reaction phase. Now, in order to react, you can't just move everything, if I recall correctly. You have to be within a certain range of things, within 2 hexes of an enemy unit. This is not close enough to make a reaction move. Actually, the reaction should have happened before. I could have tried to slip out of that position, which would have been wise. It's very hard to trap them then. I thought that you could get things around them. Oh well. I played stupidly with the allies. They had a reaction opportunity. Maybe they don't have a reaction in that first turn. It's been a long time since I played, and no, it looks like they do. Huh. Interesting. See, they would have been able to run away and thus not be attacked. Oh well. We'll give the Germans the surprise value there, because that's kind of what I'm used to, and this is a tough enough game even with that. Now the Germans get a second move, and this one's a little more exciting because they're going to be able to do the supply overruns and the like. Let me pause for a